Hey everyone, and welcome. We're about to dive into something that could be a total game changer for your nonprofit's mission. I'm talking about freeing up thousands of dollars. See, there's this incredible tech grant out there that a lot of organizations just don't even know about. So let's break down exactly how you can get your hands on it.
All right, first up, let me ask you something. Think about your website, your digital front door to the world. Is the cost of just keeping that thing online, keeping it secure and professional, is that eating into the money that should be going straight to your cause? I bet for most of you listening, the answer is a big, resounding yes.
And that right there, that's the core dilemma, isn't it? Every single nonprofit, yours included, needs a really powerful online presence. You've got to attract donors, find volunteers, and connect with the community you're trying to serve. But how in the world do you do that when every single dollar is precious? When budgets are stretched so thin, you're forced to choose between funding your mission and funding your message. It's this constant, frustrating balancing act. You absolutely need high-quality, super reliable web hosting, right? The last thing you want is your site crashing in the middle of a huge fundraising campaign. But the price tag for that kind of peace of mind, it can be steep. It's a struggle pretty much everyone faces, but believe it or not, there's a powerful solution hiding in plain sight. And where does the solution come from? You might be surprised. It comes from Microsoft. Yep, they offer a pretty substantial annual grant just for cloud services. And it's designed specifically to help nonprofits like you. So this is the opportunity we're going to unpack today. Okay, so how much are we actually talking about here? Get this. Every single year, eligible nonprofits can get $2,000 in Azure credits. That's $2,000 you can use to host your website, run your apps, power all your digital operations. For a lot of organizations, this effectively makes it all free. And you know what's really wild? How surprisingly simple it is to get. You literally just register on Microsoft's nonprofit portal, they validate you, you claim the offer, and then you just link it to your Azure account. For most people, it's auto-approved in like a day. No crazy grant writing, no sitting around waiting for months. Now, there are a few key things you gotta remember. This is an annual credit, so yes, you do have to renew it each year. The good news is it covers almost all of Microsoft's own Azure services. And get this, there's no monthly spending limit, so you can just use it whenever you need it throughout the year. Okay, so a free $2,000 grant. Sounds perfect, right? So what's the catch? Well, there's always a catch. And here it is. This isn't for the simple one-click website hosting you might be used to. These credits are for Azure, which is professional-grade cloud infrastructure. That's a whole different beast, and it requires a totally different mindset. To really get what that means, let's look at this. Think of traditional hosting like renting a furnished apartment. It's simple, it's ready to go, but you don't have a ton of control. Now, cloud infrastructure like Azure, that's like being handed a plot of land and a pile of building materials. You can build a skyscraper, but you kind of need to be an architect and a builder. Okay, now here's where things get really fascinating, and honestly, a little frustrating. If you try to take what seems like the most obvious path, running your WordPress site on Azure's App Service, you're going to hit a massive roadblock. The way it's built just isn't optimized for how WordPress works. And the result? Your site is going to be notoriously slow. We're talking 3 to 10-second loading times. It's a total performance trap. So that's the crucial point, right? If the easy road is basically a dead end, how do you actually make this incredible grant work for your WordPress site? Well, don't worry. Thankfully, there are 3 different paths you can take to really harness its power the right way. All right, path number 1, we'll call the expert path. This is the full-on do-it-yourself approach. You're manually building your entire hosting environment from scratch on Azure. It gives you absolute, total control, but man, it requires some serious in-house tech skills. Remember that construction analogy? This is you being the architect, the plumber, the electrician, the whole crew. It's powerful, for sure, but definitely not for the faint of heart. Okay, now this second path. This one is a real game changer for most people. It involves using a free open source tool called DevPanel. Basically, DevPanel acts like an automation layer that sits on top of your Azure account, and it handles all the complicated setup for you. Going back to our house analogy, this is like using a high-tech, prefabricated kit. You get a super professional result without needing to be an expert builder yourself. And this quote just nails the value of DevPanel. It gives you that easy, point-and-click simplicity you'd expect from a pricey managed host, but, and this is the key, it all runs inside your own Azure account. What does that mean? It means you keep total control,
And most importantly, it means you actually get to use that $2,000 grant.
And finally, we have path number 3, the guided path. This is where you hire a certified expert, what's called an Azure Managed Service Provider, or an MSP. They handle everything. I mean, everything. Setup, security, maintenance, you name it. This is like hiring a general contractor to manage the entire home building project for you. It's the most hands-off or a free option, but of course, it comes with a management fee. Okay, so there you have it. 3 paths: the DIY expert, the automation tool, and the hired guide. The big question is, which one is the right fit for your organization? Let's break that down right now. So this table really lays out the choice you have to make. On one hand, you've got the manual path. That requires expert-level skill, and it's going to cost you a ton in staff time. Then there's the DevPanel path, which only needs beginner to intermediate skills and basically costs you nothing beyond what your grant already covers. And finally, the MSP path. It requires 0 technical skill from you, but you're going to have that recurring management fee on top of your grant. So let's get specific. If you're a smaller nonprofit, say with a budget under $500K, and you don't have a dedicated tech person on staff, honestly, the burden of managing a cloud account, even with a tool like DevPanel, might just be too much. In that case, the smartest move is often to just skip the grant entirely and go with a simple managed host like Kinsta. They even offer a 15% nonprofit discount. Here, simplicity is king. However, if you're more of a mid-sized organization and you have a developer on staff, or even just a really tech-savvy volunteer, then the Azure grant combined with DevPanel is the absolute undeniable winner. No question. You get enterprise-level power and great developer tools, and it's all covered by the grant. The value here is just off the charts. Now, there's a really important category: organizations that handle sensitive data. We're talking healthcare information under HIPAA, that kind of thing. For you, this isn't really a choice. You absolutely need expert oversight. The safest, most responsible path is to hire a specialized Azure MSP. They're the ones who will manage the technical side of compliance and keep you and the people you serve protected. All right, let's do a quick recap of the key takeaways here. Number 1, the $2,000 Azure grant is real, it's easy to get, and you should go claim it. 2, if you have some tech skills in-house, DevPanel offers just incredible value by automating all the hard stuff for free. 3, if you need total support or have to deal with compliance, an MSP is your best bet. And finally, number 4, remember, those simple managed hosts are great, but you just can't use the Azure grant with them. And that really brings us to the final, most important thought. Look, this isn't just about saving a few bucks on web hosting. It's about taking that money and putting it back where it truly matters, into your mission. So I'm going to leave you with this question to think about. What could your nonprofit accomplish with an extra $2,000 in the bank year after year after year?